What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. ESKATENYC here once again, and today we are going to be reviewing the WowGo 2S Max versus the Meepo V3 and V5. All these boards are in the budget board category. I'm going to do a quick analysis and just compare the specs. Starting off with the WowGo 2S Max, it is going to go around for $409. That is correct. So it is quite near that 400 mark. The Meepo V5 will go around $429, and the Meepo V3s will go around for $469. Now for the WowGo, if you decide to get the bigger wheel set, the 105 wheels, you'll have to pay around $489. If you want to get the 2-in-1 deal, you're gonna have to pay around $500. But anyways, dimensions wise, the WowGo 2S Max will have 38 in length with 10.75 in width, 4.75 inches in height. The Meepo V5 will have 38.75 inches in length, 11 inches in width, 5.25 inches in height. The Meepo V3 will have the same width and the same height. However, it is 1 inch shorter than the V5, and that's probably just because the V5 has the bash guards on. By the way, as you can tell, the bash guard is on the V3. That is not stock. I just took it off the V5 and put it on the V3. So just ignore that. And yes, the wheels are not orange stock either. I just did that for myself because I like to customize a little. But anyways, for the weight carrying this, the WowGo will have a weight around 18 pounds, exactly 18 pounds. However, the Meepo V5 and Meepo V3 will have a weight of 18.6 pounds. So it is 6 ounces heavier than the WowGo. And looking at all of these decks, all three decks have an A-ply maple Canadian deck. So it is the same standard deck that is used in pretty much every budget board out there on the market. If you look at the grip tape, the V3 and the V5 will have that standard skateboard grip tape. However, if you look at the WowGo, this electric skateboard will give you a foam grip tape, so it's a more comfortable ride overall and doesn't strain your feet. Max load for all three of these boards will be 330 pounds. I'm sure you could push it further more, but I wouldn't recommend it. For trucks, the WowGo 2S Max will have 7.5 inch trucks. Meanwhile, the Meepo and V5 will have 7 inch trucks. However, don't be fooled because the wheels on these are way wider than the WowGo. These Meepo wheels are a 90mm by 60mm wheels. Meanwhile, the WowGo is 90mm by 54mm. All three wheels are 78A durometer, but however, going back to the contact patch, the Meepo wheels will definitely have a more wider contact patch. Now let me just put these side by side and kind of measure the width. So yeah, the WowGo trucks are wider. However, the Meepo trucks will be a little bit slightly more wider just because of those wider wheels. You could always put wider wheels on the WowGo. I'm sure it would be slightly wider as well. For the bushings, the WowGo will have an 85A barrel. Meanwhile, the Meepo V3 and V5 will have a 92A barrel. You could also get a 100A option as well. For the battery, the V3S Super and the WowGo 2S Max will actually have the same battery capacity, coming at 216 watt hours. However, the Meepo V5 will offer a 144 watt hour battery and a 288 watt hour ER battery. The V3S Super will also offer that 288 watt hour battery as well. The WowGo 2S Max has no extra battery option available, so you could only get that 216 watt hour. However, the WowGo 2S Max is a 12S battery. 12S, which means a higher voltage, higher top speed, and just more power overall. These batteries are 10S batteries. It is still great. However, the WowGo will definitely be a more powerful, punchier board overall. Now, in most of my videos, I say that motor specs do not matter. However, I'll just list them right now. These are 550 watt motors. The Meepo V3 is 540 watt motors. The V5 are 500 watt motors. WowGo 2S Max will be using a Hobby Wing ESC. Meanwhile, the Meepos will be using a Lingy ESC. Personally, I do prefer Lingy ESCs because you have that stop feature. Pull back, the wheels will actually lock so your board doesn't roll. And also, it has that push to start feature where you just hop on the board, push it, and the board will turn on automatically. The WowGo is nice as well. It has a standby feature, and you just turn on the remote and the board will automatically turn on. Now for the IP rating, they don't really list the IP ratings on their website. However, I'll tell you one thing. The Meepo V5, in my opinion, will definitely have the best IP rating just because of how it's sealed inside the board. You look inside the ESC, you open up the cover, there is a rubber gasket around the whole thing. It's a whole block, it's a whole metal shell. Then you have to unscrew those out, and then you have to pull in this cover. The ESC is very well protected. These cables right here actually have a rubber sealing as well. It has a rubber ring, so there's really no way water could really get in and damage the ESC, unless if you just throw the board, just sink it underwater. I have to come with the conclusion that the Meepo V5 will be the best quality board out of these two just because of how it's built internally. It's just very premium, very sleek looking, very clean. For a budget board that comes from Meepo, that is an excellent option. These two boards, I will just have to say the same thing. They're just the basic budget boards with a basic plastic enclosure on top of it and a little foam padding underneath. I would not recommend you really ride it in the rain just because you could easily get water. I've rode this in the sand and I already got sand in the ESC. So yeah, I would not recommend you do that. Now you look at the remotes, the Meepo V3s will still use that M4S remote with the screen. The WowGo will use their own Hobbywing style remote with an OLED display. However, the Meepo V5 has the worst remote in my opinion. I mean, come on, it's just a basic Lingy remote and it just has no screen at all. It still functions the same way as the M4 remote, just a different remote physically overall. For top speed, we're looking at 28 miles per hour on the WowGo. They advertised 28 miles per hour on the V5 as well. I do hit mostly 26 miles per hour most of the time. The V3 Super will get you up to 29 to 30 miles per hour. You'd be surprised as well. The WowGo 2S has gotten me up to 30 miles per hour as well. They advertised 28 miles per hour, but I have actually hit 30 miles per hour as well, which is quite fascinating. Range wise, this one is the ER model, so it will definitely get more range out of these two. However, these are both 216 watt hours. I'm pretty sure they'll end up having the same range, but expect a range up to 8 miles if you're really pushing it, just non-stop riding, and expect like a good 12 to 15 miles if you're going at a nice casual cruising speed. For this battery, I would just expect like a good 2 to 4 miles more. For the hill climb, the WowGo will be 22%, the Meepo V3 Super will be 25 to 30%, and the Meepo V5 will be around 18%. For the Meepos, you will get a charging time around almost about 3 hours, and the WowGo, you will get a charging time of 2.5 hours. Lastly, for customer support, all these boards will offer a 180-day warranty for any malfunctions, any defect, to get any parts fixed. Also, if you notice with the Meepo boards, the two newest models do have that handle as well integrated in the deck. Meanwhile, the WowGo has no handle. Now, it doesn't really matter to me. I think it's great having a handle. It's a very Meepo thing, but it's up to your preference overall. Anyways, enough with the chit chat. Now that we're done with the specs, we're gonna head on and race these boards to see which board will win overall. All right, we're gonna start off with the V5 versus the V3. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, right there, as you can notice, there is clearly a difference in power. Already, you could just see. I took off, I'm at 26 miles an hour, 27 miles an hour, 28 miles an hour, 29. I'm fighting the wind a little bit. There you go, I'm like 30 right now, all right. All right, we have switched riders. Right now he's on the V5 and I am on the V3. On 3, 2, 1, go. He's probably going 30 miles an hour. Oh yeah, and the brakes are definitely way stronger on the V3. All right, lastly for the finals, we got the WowGo 2S Max versus the Meepo V3 Super. This is gonna be a close one. Let's see who would actually win in this race. But anyways, we're gonna start it off in 3, 2, 1, go. And yes, guys, like I said, once again, higher voltage does make a difference. I'm ready at 26 miles an hour, 27, 28. 28 miles per hour, stuck on 28. 29, going faster now. 29 miles per hour. Smoother braking this time. I'm going to be on the V5 once again. He's on the WowGo 2S Max. I'm going to start it off in 3, 2, 1, go. And there you go. He hit it off and he is flying already. I am stuck at 20 miles an hour. Meanwhile, he is probably already at 25, 26 miles an hour. I just can't keep up with him. But yeah, he is flying. Brake test. Oh my God. Holy shit. I was sliding. All right, one last time. I'm gonna give him a head start, about like a 3-second head start to see if I could catch up to him. 3, 2, 1, go. 3, 2, 1, go. See if I could keep up. Oh, I'm actually catching up. Dude, I'm actually gonna pass him. No way. No way. Woo, that bump was nasty. All right, brake test. Let me guys show you the braking one last time on this board because I find it quite fascinating how it could brake at such high speeds. So let me just hit it right now once again. I'm hitting it, right? I'm gonna hit the brakes. It doesn't lock up the wheel as if the Meepo would have done. I locked it up, I was drifting all over the place. This, on the higher end, it actually decelerates really smoothly, and then on the lower end, then that's when the brakes really lock up. That is definitely a really nice braking curve they have implemented in this board. So let me just show you guys the braking difference, both of these boards. So we're gonna start it off. 3, 2, 1, go. Start going. All right, 3, 2, 1, brake. V3 is definitely more harder on the brakes. However, the WowGo is definitely more smoother. I almost lost traction with this.